within the chairman of a body corporate, 2 of them. They send that letter to us, and then we can then action the request to add your company, because you just went and fixed their, so you now have to have access to that, so that next time you can log in and manage or see whether the reports show when the report stopped, so you can actually trace and try and fix that problem, So we need access before you can work on any other site. We need access, but because when you create an organization, you are ought to give someone within the organization access as well. For some odd reason, it's allowed. Okay. For other people, they feel I'll make money by loading people in and out, so it's a constant income for me. Every time a person loses a remote, they must come to me instead of going to that administrator. That we say, you're not involved in how you do business. How you do business, how you do business. So once that person is created, they have the authorization to log in and invite the new installer without our involvement. That action is recorded, an audit to say you've invited X company to be a part of your organization. They get an email. When they log in, they go and accept the invitation. We don't get involved. But we do get involved if the administrator does not have access and you want to be invited. So you can't work on a site if you are not the installer by right of that letter or that invitation. Does it make sense? Okay. Now, from hardware requirements, the only thing that's mostly important here is understanding. We've stressed so much about the need for the media. We call this the media. When you buy a vehicle, you want to drive it on a clean road. This is the road to airtime, data, and SMSs. Now, it needs an input voltage. So we've got a primary and a secondary input voltage. Your primary input voltage is a wall plug, like I just did here. I just hooked it into a plug, switched on. I can leave it here for 10 years. As long as this power does not go off or there's no interruption here, it's not going to be a problem. Yeah. Once it comes in at 220, we then convert it internally. So there are power supplies here that convert AC to DC, which then feeds into the circuit board by virtue of that amount. How much of current is it chowing on your electricity bill? It's under an amp.
Million.
Below. We are under probably 200 watts of power. Very small. Very, very small amount. So if you put it on a battery, it should last you a very long time. However, we find that lots of people assume that because it's in a car house, there's energizers, kettle, stove, monitor, cameras, they can just hook them onto one plug. Or even if it's not in a car house, it's outside. Conveniently, you only want one cable to the motor, that same cable daisy chains onto the intercom. So when you switch off that cable, it switches off the motor and the intercom, and that same is going into a plug point where the energizer is connected and all the other stuff. That is a recipe for disaster. That is a recipe for disaster. It's like you are relying on one road to take you to Durban. The N3. The only thing you're relying on. If a truck overturns there and spills oil, it's over. You go back home. You understand? So what I'm trying to say is, due to the milliamps, do not mix it with high voltage or ampage devices. Don't drive on the same road as trucks. Have a lane, separate lane that takes care of the power to go to the intercom system, because it's the visitor management system. If it's offline, you're good as stuffed. You don't have any other means of use. So simple things like these cables. One, your mains cable your comms cable should actually not be in the same conduit. That is why you'll never find Ethernet cables in a building on the same line as electrical cables. You'll normally find two separate conduits.
Yeah.
Because of what? They are avoiding the electric static or the electric magnetic field in that cable, which can affect comms. You know, there are so many little things that when you inherit a site, you tend to overlook. I found it on 220. But where is it coming from? What is it sharing with? Is it in a stable environment? If your answer is yes, then you can carry on and do the job. If your answer is no, the question to the unspoken, or the answer to the unspoken question is, it was not my installation. Which is what we all defend ourselves with.
Yeah.
I didn't do this installation. But when they called you and you got the letter, that tells me it's your installation now. Because there's a reason why the old guy got fired.
And then you took over.
You took over.
So when you find a fault, you must fix it.
You fix it. That's what I'm saying. So the problem we face on our systems is generally that 9 out of 10 times avoid that. So your question is why only 3 numbers per unit? It's because of the display, 16 by 2. You can see, you can actually say installation by Innocent, you know, you put your website there. It's marketing, it's up to you. And the next thing, welcome to Ever Ready Complex. You know, up to you what you put on the display message. But when you dial at night, you will notice that the keypads are blue. So you can't miss the buttons. It's nice and bright, which is good for night vision. Even if I put 12 volt here, you see they're also blue. The difference between our type keypads and the Centurion normal keypads is that our lights are blue, their lights are like orange. So that's how you can differentiate just by looking at the keypads without understanding the software inside. By eye vision, right? So these are GSM systems, which means we are looking at signal strength, which goes back to part of the delay, network problems. All right, so on the NS boards, there's no signal strength. It's a cable connection. That. But on the GSM intercoms, we're looking at the strength it requires. It's out of 31. So if you're on 15, you're okay. You're half. You know you can make a call when your phone is got 3 bars.
Yeah.
You know, you can make, but when there's 2 bars and there's 1 bar, I can't hear you properly. I can't hear you properly. Same thing will apply. Sometimes the call doesn't even go through, you know, because the signal strength is very low. So getting it as close as possible to 31 is good. But what people don't understand about signal strength is that you have those bars that appear on your phone. Then you have a signal indicator of the strength of the internet, which is either a G, a 3G, a H, or 4G plus. That is different. Doesn't mean if you get 31 on your call signal, the internet is 31. It depends on the network coverage. Some areas have a network coverage map. When you go into their website, those companies, they say, click on this so you can see whether you're covered. Even with fiber, they first check, where do you stay? No, I stay in Kuvukiland. Okay, let's put in your address. Okay, Kuvukiland has got Ethernet installed. Or no, Kuvukiland has no Ethernet cables installed, so we can't install fiber on that area. Same thing applies. So when you take out or you want to do an installation, the best thing is to do a survey on site to ask the people, what is the best signal in the area? You can choose any one of the service providers we've got. I think Cell C is leaving. I don't know if there's still a rumor or what. But Vodacom, MTN, and Telkom, you chunk it in there, you check your signal strength if it's good, make sure your connection and updates are quick.
That Telkom.
Some areas is good, trust me. Some areas is good, some areas is bad. It's horrible, you know. But you've got to make an informed decision from the beginning. Don't just say, Vodacom is good everywhere. I've been in Sandton. Put intercom in Sandton and the Vodacom is horrible.
So according to this system, it says 4 keypad maximum.
Yes.
So, but on the board, it says relay 1 and relay 2.
Okay. No, that's
That does it have a relay 1 up to 4?
five relays.
Oh, it's got 5 relays.
Yeah, 5 relays on the NS, the light, and only 4 relays on the BB. Here they are. I've seen people go 4 keypads there, funny enough. But hey, it's their own MacGyver, you know?
Okay, yeah.
Because every time you press a code, the relay of the keypad also clicks. So they use that as an escape code. So I don't know why it directly on the intercom, I just wire it on this relay. As long as the code is correct, it clicks and it opens the gate. So that's how a lot of people got away with it. But yeah, four keypads, good signal strength, you can go contract or prepaid, and that's it.
It's up to you.
Up to you. When it comes to the NS, your internet speed becomes important.
20 megabytes per second. This is minimum.
Minimum. Because why we are looking at voice over IP. Voice over IP needs a good signal, or rather good internet speed.
Yeah.
I've seen others go for a 5 meg line. It's always disconnecting. You know? Always disconnecting. And they'll tell you, no, but why on a 5 meg line? Huh? I can download stuff, I can watch movies on my 5 meg line. Why? Say, no, it's a cord, it's a GSM cord. You find that there's a delay on the line because of what? Your speed is too low. Or it just cuts. From time to time, the IP address is cutting. You know? But now we've stepped into the network services world. Like I said, you need a valid VoIP account, good internet speed, you need